Community is important to me, but also important to everyone. I think even in the question, it asks us to think about the we and the us of life. There's so much about modern life which is about the individual or what I want and what I want to get out of situation, or what the other person wants to get out. And for me, community is about coming home to that sense of we and us and belonging and a place where, yeah, I mean, it's belonging, isn't it? It's something that's so rare. It feels like it's so rare in the world that we now live in. Maybe it's always been that way. But technology has created isolation and disconnection. There's so many good things that technology brings us, which, you know, can be the opposite of that. They can help us to connect and they can help us to reach more people and create a sense of community. But when technology's not used in that way, I think it creates isolation and disconnection and comparisonitis and that feeling of being on the outside looking in and everybody else is over there, or they're doing this and it's better than me, or they're not asking me, or they're not involving me, or everybody looks so happy and I'm not. So the sense of community is in the real world. Like, how do we create more of it in person, so that we're not living our lives on screens or on the other side of screens? Something I feel so passionate about. But also, how do we create it using technology? You know, I accept we can't fight the rising tide of technology, and perhaps we don't even want to, because it brings so many incredible things with it. But how do we embrace technology to then still create communities that feel meaningful, where people are being honest and sharing truthfully, where they feel like they belong, instead of just another place to be, but still disconnected? The other reason I think community is so important is, you know, my guide, I suppose, for whether something's important enough is how it makes me feel inside, whether it makes me feel light or whether it makes me feel heavy in the moment. And I think of examples of communities that I belong to that make me feel just full of joy and light, like the chorus that I sing with, and the fact that we're from all different walks of life and different backgrounds. We have different beliefs and skills, and we bring them all to the table and create this wonderful sense of oneness through the music that we create, and a familial sense as well, because you can't then separate just because you're making music together. You are also bringing all your life experiences and whatever's happened on that day. You bring that to the table and then feel supported and able to kind of melt into oneness. That's what it feels like to me when I'm in that community, when we do it successfully. And I know other communities that perhaps fail or don't stay together or don't last and be sustainable over the long term, or because egos in that community are getting too big or personal agendas are coming into play. So there's something about community which is about equality and acceptance and inclusivity that can be quite hard to cultivate. But I think when we're leading from within and we're in that community because we believe we have something to offer, but also we're open to receiving things back from the wider community, then that's when it takes on a life of its own. So I love the idea that communities can be co-created. So it might take a leader or a group of leaders to take the initiative and establish the community, but after that, it starts to get a heartbeat. Oh, see, it's making me emotional. It starts to get this sense of like momentum, because it's going places and ideas are being grown and cultivated and seeds being sown for, you know, wonderful change and transformation to happen. But as a result of the collaboration and the connection that's within that we and that oneness. When I witness that actually happening, it moves me so much, and I want to be a part of communities, and I also want to create a community that has that feeling, that has that heartbeat, that has truth, and has people who really, really care about doing good in the world, but also being better humans themselves, you know, looking inside and saying, what does this community need from me? What could I contribute? What can I bring? It's just feels like it's not always there in the world that we live in, and I crave it, and I think other people crave it too. I think we as humans want to be connected and we want to belong in a community, and when we don't, something's missing, and then can't put your finger on it, but then once you find it you go, oh, who was that? That was what I needed. So yeah, more community. That's what I want.